Welcome back. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question, visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. Dr. Shabir, the question is, if someone has more barakah in their life, does it mean they are closer to God or they are a better person?
Interesting.
So you have to explain what barakah means for our non-Muslim viewers. Yes.
Sure. Sophia, there's an interesting article about barakah on a website from the Simply Islam Academy based in Singapore. And the explanation is very comprehensive. So first of all, what is barakah? I can't remember everything in detail about the article, but just putting in my own words now, processing that article through my own thoughts, this is what comes out. Barakah is, it simply means blessings. It comes from the root of, birka, or, kneeling down. But it's used in Islamic circles as meaning like a blessing from God. And we ask Allah to bless. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad. Oh Allah, bless the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Kama barakta ala Ibrahim, as you have blessed Abraham, and so on. So this blessing that will come from God, we believe, is going to be something that it's not very tangible, that you can put your finger on it and say, okay, here's the barakometer, right? We can barakometer. We're talking about the past U.S. president now. All right. So we don't have a measure to say, okay, this person has so much barakah in their lives. But barakah is, or blessing, is characterized by the person's serenity, the person's acceptance of the way things are in his or her life, a certain complacency and happiness with the status quo. It does not mean, of course, lack of activity and lack of interest in progression or progressiveness and so on, but there's a certain self-satisfaction at the end of the day. So you can picture two persons. One person like is on the hustle and bustle, in the rat race, doing everything to make more money, to have success in life, and then at the end of the day they're still like frustrated. Then there's another person who is making like reasonable efforts to do better and getting ahead to some degree, or maybe not, but still making good efforts. And then at the end of the day, this person is satisfied. Like happy, goes to bed happy, and is looking forward to a new day, or perhaps reciting a dua, thinking, if this is the night that God takes me, I'm happy to go as I am. So one person is perpetually frustrated, the other person is perpetually at ease. So this person who is at ease, we say this person has barakah in his or her life. That barakah or that blessing may be manifested in so many other ways, like, in terms of the earnings that we have, a little bit goes far. The person is not in need of anything, even though the person is subsisting on little means. The person has goods and blessings from God that he or she is enjoying, but we say there's barakah in those things, in the sense that those things are useful to the person. Another person may acquire things, but the things are detrimental to the person, and the person doesn't actually see that. A simple example, a crude one, might be that a person is so happy to buy a car, and then they buy the car, and then they have an accident there, and then they get injured. May Allah protect everyone. So that person has gotten the car that they wanted, but they didn't get the blessing of God and God's protection that should go along with that. They got all the insurance and all of that, but not God's protection. The other person, gets the vehicle and is happy with God and thankful to God, and God blesses this person, and this person is safe. Now, in the end, we have to step back and say that there are so many factors that will explain why one person gets good things, another person doesn't get such good things, and so on. So it's not, as we said, we don't have the barakometer to say, okay, this person has got so much barakah in their lives, this person doesn't have that much. The flip side of this is that God may be testing an individual. An individual may be pure, sincere, serving God, but having a lot of difficulties in his or her life. But with the difficulties, God, and passing the test of being patient in the face of difficulties, the person is rising higher and closer to God. So the way in which things appear to us is not necessarily the absolute reality. So the end of all of this, in the end, we must say that if a person is undergoing difficulty, one should not go into despair and think, oh, there's no barakah in my life, God is not with me, and so on. No, God may be asking you to exercise patience in that circumstance, and hoping that you will turn towards God and put more trust in Him, and of course do all of the good things, all of the right things to improve your life in so many small and incremental ways.
Thank you for that, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum. Welcome to Muslim Media Hub, the new home of Let the Quran Speak.
Here we spread positivity and good. We help people experience the beauty of Islam and help them appreciate and understand Muslims.
This beautiful building we purchased at cost $2.3 million.
Yeah, we've already raised a third of that money, and with your help, inshallah, we can pay off the rest.
So we're looking for people who can give $1,000 each. If you can be part of the select group, that's amazing.
Otherwise, just please give whatever you can. Every dollar counts.
It's our collective responsibility to share the message of Islam with our fellow human beings. Please help us continue this good work.
It's a sadaqah jariyah, something that will continue to be a benefit to the Muslim community long after Safiya and I are gone.
Please support our work at muslimmediahub.com.
Your support is zakat eligible and tax deductible.
May Allah bless you and your loved ones today and always. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.